Hello and welcome to a new video. Haven't made a video in a while, but seeing it's Star Wars week, one of my most hyped up LEGO release dates in the release calendar, I decided to make a new video here. I've been doing Star Wars Day every year the past few years. It's an annual tradition for me, and I've done some preview videos for the past few years as well. So we'll take a look at some of the new releases. I'm going to attend the members A4 night, so I'm going to get a hands-on at some of the new releases. I'll share my thoughts on them as well as what I intend to pick up. And before heading to Brixwell, I also did pop by Toys R Us to see some of the sets available in stock. Pretty good selection of LEGO sets across many themes. No discounts noted. I think they did have like 20% off on one of the 4+ sets, but other than that, nothing else. So here we are at Brixwell for the A4 night preview. So there are a total of 9 Star Wars sets being released on May the 1st this year, with the UCS Jango Fetts Starship being released on May the 5th actually, but if you remember, you get early access from 1st of May. They do have 7 of them on display, the other 2 sets being Brickhead sets. I'm not sure if those are going to be released on May the 1st in Brixwell, but I do think they're going to be released on May the 1st on the LEGO website. Not too sure. I think the Brickheads were also slightly delayed last year as well, but nonetheless there were 7 sets on display and I got to see them in person, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'll share my thoughts on them. There are 4 sets retailing for $109.90 this year, so we'll start with the smaller sets first. So the first set we have here is the Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle. This is the midi scale ship collection, 286 pieces and retails for $109.90. I think this is quite a nice set. I think it looks better in person. It looks pretty big because of the wingspan, but in terms of actual mass of plastic, it's not much. Price-wise, I think it's really expensive. $109.90 for this doesn't really make sense when some of the other mini-scale ships in the same series are cheaper and have more parts. I do have the playset scale Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle from 2019, and I think that's a really nice set. I don't know how to rate this. I think it's a cool looking set. I'm not a big fan of the black base as well because the whole ship is black, so it sort of merges into one thing. If it was a clear set, I think that would look nicer as well. But yeah, I think this is nice, but definitely not worth the price. Is this a day one pickup for me? Definitely not. I do want to pick it up at some point, but definitely not for this price. I'll probably give it like 7.5 out of 10, but because of its ridiculous price, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. The next set we have here is the Rebel Uing Starfighter. This is actually the only play set released in this wave. Most of the sets are actually 18+ in this May the 4th release. But anyway, this is a pretty nice play set. I think it has 594 pieces, and it contains 4 minifigures: Cassian Andor, Dedra Miro, an IZB Tactical Agent, and K2SO. I think this was a set that I wasn't very excited about. It looked really thin and just didn't really appeal to me when I saw the photos, but seeing it in person I think is actually pretty nice. I do like the engines at the back, and I think it's pretty detailed. It's not cheap, but I think compared to other LEGO Star Wars sets released so far and in this wave, $110 isn't that bad a price. I don't think I'm going to pick this up on day one, but I still think this is a set that I do want to pick up at some point. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, and yeah, I think it looks better than I expected. The next $109.90 set we have here is the brick-built Star Wars logo. So this one has 700 pieces. When it was first leaked, I was pretty disappointed. I think it's pretty boring having, just plain logos and text because there's nothing really interesting about it. In addition, there are no minifigures in here, so that's quite disappointing. But seeing it in person, I think it's quite nicely done. I think the pieces go together really nicely, and there's really nice detailing and greeting all across this set. So yeah, it looks better than I expected, but it's not a day one pickup for me. I think $110 is still quite expensive for this. So I'll probably give this a 6.5 out of 10. I think it'll go quite nicely if you have a nice, LEGO Star Wars collection and you want to put it on display. So yeah, overall pretty decent, but not a day one pickup for me as well. The final $109.90 set we have in the May the 4th wave is the Kylo Ren Helmet. This one contains 529 pieces, and it's a part of the helmet collection that was started, I think, sometime in 2019, which made a comeback again this year. So I collect all the Star Wars helmets, so this is definitely a pickup for me. I'm quite pleasantly surprised that all these silver details are printed parts, and $109.90 isn't cheap, but for LEGO Star Wars, I think it's not a bad price considering the helmets were $99.90 years ago, and they've gone up to $129.90. So seeing this one at $109.90 seems like a decent deal considering it's printed parts, and it's only like 100 parts, less than 100 parts fewer than Jango Fett. Compared to the AT-AT helmet, which was released earlier this year, which I thought looked pretty cool, that does have a massive sticker in the middle, so seeing this as all printed is definitely way better, and it's cheaper as well. So this is a day one pickup for me, I think, and I'll give this 8 out of 10. The next set we have here is also part of the helmet collection. This is Jango Fett's helmet, contains 616 pieces, and it's going to retail for $129.90. I think this is a very nice helmet. I do have Boba Fett's helmet as well as the Mandalorian, and I think this will go quite nicely with those 2 helmets as well. If you're picking up Jango Fett's UCS Starship, I think having this paired together on display will look really nice as well. If there's any issue I have with this helmet, it's the sticker that goes around the front. I think it's quite obvious that it's a sticker, and that's quite a big downside. I think if it was a printed piece, that would probably be one of the best helmets released in the collection. But yeah, I think this is definitely a nice set. Definitely a pickup for me, 100%. Might not be a day one pickup, but definitely one that I'll add to the helmet collection. So I'll give this a 7.5 out of 10. The next set we have here is the Billable Chopper Astromeac Droid. So this one contains 139 pieces and it's going to retail for 179.90. I think this is a very nice set. I do like the color scheme. I think it's quite nicely done. I do wish the top of the head looked a bit rounder. The triangle pieces do look a bit two-dimensional, if you get what I mean. Overall, still a really nice set. I do think the price is a bit high. I think I've been complaining about Lego prices for a long time, but I think even relative to some other Lego sets like the Billable R2D2, that has more parts and it's slightly bigger and it's cheaper. It's $20 cheaper for some reason, so I don't get why this is $179.90. I think it retails for like $100 US, so I don't know why it's so much more in Singapore. So I definitely want to pick this up at some point. I do have some of the other billable droids like the Viper Probe Droid, the Droid Deca, DO, as well as Chewbacca I bought recently. So some of these billable characters will be quite nicely displayed together, but I don't want to pay $190 for this. I think if it's like $150, that would have been a fair retail price. So I'll probably wait for a discount. If this goes to like 30% off, then I'll consider buying it. So I'll give this, it's hard to score this because I think this is a really nice set, but the price is a bit high. I'll give this a 7.5 out of 10 as well. Last but definitely not least, we have Jango Fett's Fire Spray class starship, or formerly called Slave 1. So this is the UCS set released for May the 4th this year, and I think this is a really good looking set. 2,970 pieces and retails for 439.90. I think the shaping all around, the color scheme, the details, I think it's all really nicely done. 439.90, is that a fair price for a UCS set? I guess the TIE Interceptor and the X-Wing were 369.90, so this being $70 more, I can sort of justify the price. It is slightly bigger, and overall, yeah, if you're a UCS collector, I think this is definitely one that's worth adding to the collection. Do I intend to pick it up? Yes, I would like to, but I don't think I have the space for it, so I'm not going to pick this up on day one. But definitely at some point, I think if I ever see this on sale for about $350 or less, I think this is definitely worth picking up. If you're going to pick this up from Lego on day one, you also get an additional exclusive keychain as well, so that's something to bear in mind. But yeah, great set. I'll give this a 8.5 out of 10. I think this is fantastic and my favorite set from the wave. So that was a quick look at 7 of the 9 Lego sets released on May the 1st this year. The 2 other sets being Brickhead, so Revenge of the Sith Heroes and Villains, 656 pieces and retails for $76.90. And Luke Skywalker Rebel Pilot, which is $17.10 and has 138 pieces. I think both are great sets, and I definitely want to pick them both up at some point. I'm not sure if it's going to be a day one pickup. Luke Skywalker Rebel Pilot will probably be something that I'll add to the cart if I'm short of the gifted purchase amount. But yeah, if you're a Brickhead collector, definitely worth picking up because I think they aren't in stores for a long time. They usually stay on shelves for like a year or so. So what do I intend to pick up for May the 4th this year? I'm not too sure if there's going to be any 20% off discounts on Lego Star Wars sets because they did it last year, but there's nothing on the Lego site for now. So I'm not too sure there's going to be any sales at all, but I do know there's going to be double points on some Lego Star Wars sets, and I think 4 times points on the Venator UCS X-Wing and that TIE Fighter X-Wing mashup, which are sets which I'm not going to pick up anyway. So what do I intend to pick up? Definitely Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder. I think that's a set that I'm quite interested in. I think it's exclusive to Brixwell and the Lego shop. I haven't seen it on like other retailers. $65.50, quite a decent amount of minifigures, and you get that exclusive 25th anniversary droid minifigure. So definitely want to get that. Probably 2 sets of that, and paired together with the Kylo Ren Helmet released on May the 1st. That will just get me above the $230 threshold to get the gifted purchase. A few other sets I have on my wish list include the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter, the Invisible Hand, Mos Espa Pod Race Diorama, as well as the Boarding Attentive 4 set. So these are all about $100 each. If I can't get the Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder, I might get 2 of these and pair it with like a battle pack. I haven't got the Ambush on Mandalore battle pack yet, and I'm considering getting Luke Skywalker's mech suit as well as his keychain to swap it out to make it like the UCS version. So yeah, quite a few releases this year. I think it's a pretty strong May the 4th wave. $230 to get the Camino Training Facility gifted purchase, and $60 to get the Millennium Falcon mini build. Unfortunately, no midpoint gifted purchase this year. I think last year we had a really nice coin, which I actually quite like. So a bit gutted that isn't there, but nonetheless, 2 gifted purchases, pretty decent. And at Brixwell, if you remember, get 10% off, and you get the Camino Training Facility gifted purchase. So yeah, pretty exciting year. Stay tuned. I'll probably do another video on May the 1st when the sale actually drops, and I'll share what I picked up and see if there's any surprise deals that popped up. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more LEGO Star Wars videos to come soon.